Welcome. I'm Olaf Drümmer, and I have Dietrich von Segger next to me.
Hello.
We both work for callas software, and today we would like to show you a new plugin that we have developed at callas software called callas pdfGoHTML.
Okay.
You can already see the splash screen here on my monitor, and we're going to give you a quick tour of what pdfGoHTML is and what you can do with it.
Okay.
So let me close the splash screen, and I have a sample PDF here, and I can convert this PDF to HTML, but I have to say one thing: pdfGoHTML only works with tagged PDF.
Okay, what's tagged PDF?
A tagged PDF file is a file where on top of the visual information you have logical structure embedded into the file,
Okay.
which identifies the reading order of the content in the document, which may sometimes be the same as the order in which you see the object on screen, but in other cases it might be different. Just think of a newspaper page with many articles. And it also indicates what kind of content you have for each piece of content on the page, like whether you have a heading when you have text, or normal text, whether you have items in a list, or text in a table cell. And it also adds sometimes non-visual information to images, like alternate text, which is a text description of the content of an image.
So that's kind of invisible information?
Yeah, all the tagging structure information is invisible.
Okay.
It's an invisible layer on top of the visual content. And it makes it possible for a tool to access the content, extract the text in the right order.
Okay.
Very nice if you want to make a text export or repurpose the content. But one of the more important use cases is that people with disabilities can use special tools and access the content of a PDF file even if they cannot see well, like blind people or people with low vision, or they have some other kind of reading difficulty. And then they can use a screen reader that reads the text aloud, or a blind person could use a braille display to feel the text from this braille display. And of course, in order to do that, these tools need to know in which order you have the content. They need access to the headings in a long document so they can navigate inside the document and so forth.
And does each and every PDF file have this kind of information?
Unfortunately not. So a lot of PDF files are created without the tagging structure.
Okay.
Somebody has to put this tagging structure into the file, and that's usually done by a program like Microsoft Word and Adobe InDesign.
So it's I would put that inside of the PDF file before I'm actually creating the PDF file?
Yeah, you need to set up the structural information in Word, for example, or in Adobe InDesign by using style sheets for your text.
Okay.
Where a style sheet knows that it's applied to text that is a heading, level 1 or 2. You need to format your tables properly and your lists so that the Word application knows that you're actually having a list, not just something that looks like a list. And then Microsoft Word, for example, would take that information and translate it into the proper data structures in tagged PDF.
So Word would automatically do that, or would I?
Yeah, you have to set a checkbox on Microsoft Word.
Okay.
When you export to PDF, say I want to have a tagged PDF, and if you have done an okay job at least in your Word file, indicating your style sheets properly and formatting your tables and lists properly, and ideally adding alternate text to images, all this information would be used to create the tagged PDF. Mm-hmm. And you would have the advantage that in the resulting PDF, you would exactly know what the reading order is and where to find which part of the content. And this has been possible since 2007.
Microsoft
Word.
Okay.
And you have similar features in Adobe InDesign since version CS 5.5, which has been released, I think, 1.5 years ago. And it's still available in CS 6, of course. And there again, you would have to set up the information inside the InDesign document to make it show up in the tagged PDF file.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And how can I find out whether everything is okay with what I have done in, let's say, Word or so?
So the first challenge, of course, is to find out whether the PDF you have in front of you is a tagged PDF file.
Right.
And there's one built-in mechanism into Acrobat, which you have to kind of know that it exists. If you see here the navigation panels on the left-hand side, they show bookmarks and other stuff. And if I control-click, or on Windows do a right mouse click, I can ask for tags panel.
Okay.
So, and then if there are any tags, it will say there are tags, and I can look at the tags, which can be a a pretty complex tree of information.
It shows an image there.
So I can go through the document. It's difficult to see, but it's actually highlighting the part of the content to which it applies. So all the visual content is associated with the tagging structure, which is kind of hierarchy that reflects the reading order. And as you can already see, it's the tags are there, but it's not very pleasing to walk through this tree here. And it would be really nice if I had something more intuitive, something more visual that tells me what's going on inside the tagging structure. And that's exactly what pdfGoHTML is trying to achieve.
Uh-huh.
So I've installed it already here. It's showing up as a menu item under plugins, callas pdfGoHTML. There's a tip I have for you. If you go to the tools section, it will also show up in its own section here. And again, if you do a control click or right mouse click on Windows, you can ask that it's being added to the Quick Tools toolbar. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. And now you see a little blue icon showing up here. Mm-hmm. And it will trigger the pdfGoHTML export. Before I do that, let me tell you that if I have a PDF file that is not tagged, it will be a yellow icon.
Okay.
So already from the color of the icon, I can understand whether it's a tagged PDF or not, so I don't have to open any dialogues and so forth.
So when it's blue, I know there are tags, so, okay.
Exactly. So of course my sample document is a tagged PDF file. Mm-hmm. I will click on it. It's an 88-page file, so it will take a little bit to collect all the information and create HTML from that. And it will open in my standard browser.
Okay, yeah.
So I happen to use Safari, but it could be Firefox or Chrome or any other browser. Mm-hmm. And what I see here is a simple view of the exported HTML. You see the image from the title page and all the other text. Seems to be a table of content with a couple of links pointing to content in the file. And so it looks like it's not highly structured. So maybe the tagging is not the best in the world. In order to judge what the tagging quality is, we have a special view. You can switch between different views here in the top of the HTML page, and I'll try the structure tags view.
Okay, so that is actually pdfGoHTML that adds this navigation pane exactly. There. Okay.
Yeah. So all the views, they are essentially created by using CSS, cascading style sheets, together with the HTML file. And we include these CSS files, and we also include the little navigation bar at the top of the page. Mm-hmm. So I've just switched to the structure tags view.
Yeah.
And it looks completely different. And let's scroll through it a little bit. So we see text that's just sitting there without any container around it in yellow or orange. That's an indicator that no logical information has been associated with this text. So it's kind of just hanging around.
So the P is for like a paragraph?
Yeah. So the P is like base text or paragraph. It's just each item is a paragraph. And I'll just quickly scroll through the whole thing, and you will see that most of it is either paragraphs or something where no logical information has been provided.
Right.
This is a clear indicator that while the PDF file is tagged, it doesn't have sufficient logical structure information, because obviously it does have headings. So if I look at the document itself and scroll a little bit through it, you will see there's challenges for energy research and so on. So there are titles, but they are not reflected properly in the tagging structure. Mm-hmm. I could also find this out by going through the tree of the tags, but it just takes longer. Mm-hmm. And looking at the specialized HTML view here, I can immediately see what's going on. Mm-hmm. What's nice is, let me enlarge the text a little bit, that for the images, alternate text has been provided. This is the invisible text information that can be associated with images. So a blind person accessing the document, asking the screen reader to read the document aloud, would at least get the alternate description here, which is very useful. And then everything else is lacking structure, which is unfortunate. In an 88-page document, we would like to be able to jump to the next chapter by just jumping to the next main heading and things like that.
Oh, there are no headings, okay.
So as far as I can tell, there are no headings here, which is not nice. And then also something else occurred to me if I looked at this, when I looked at this more closely. And if I have to maybe, so I will highlight this text here, and if you read that, the expansion of the combined generation of heat and diagram, that doesn't seem to make sense.
Right.
So the order is not correct, it seems, because what it is supposed to say is generation of heat and power.
Okay.
So for some reason, some paragraph that doesn't belong there has been inserted in the logical structure in this place. And just envision you would be reading this document through a screen reader, a voice talking to you and reading it to you. You would not know what to make of this content. So
it wouldn't make sense.
So it's very important that when you create a tag PDF, that all the order of the content is reflected correctly.
Okay.
So also this tool makes it relatively easy to double check the order of the paragraphs. So it's better than a non-tag PDF because some of the content can be accessed easily, but it does have a number of problems. There's no heading structure, and in some cases the sequence of the text is not reflected properly, and for some of the text it's not indicated what kind of text it is. So it's probably just another paragraph, but it would be better if it indicated.
So there is tagging information, and somebody may say from the beginning, okay, it's a good PDF file, and it's already accessible, but I can immediately see that is actually not the case. Okay?
Yeah, so it does have some substantial problems, and given that it probably took a little bit of work to tag the PDF file, it would have been nice if they have completed the job and done a good job, and if they have had a good diagnostic tool like this view, it might have been easy for them to just fix the rest of the document as well.
So that is actually the next question then. So what would I do now? So I can see that there are problems. Can I use a tool in order to correct that?
Yeah, so pdfGoHTML doesn't fix anything itself. It's really just a diagnostic tool.
Okay.
I could use Adobe Acrobat, the tagging panel, and just fix the tags inside the panel.
That we have just seen, the panel.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I can do many things in this panel, reorganize the tags or apply the tags to different parts of the text and indicate that something is a heading or not. But it's relatively cumbersome, and it's much recommended that you do all this properly in the authoring application, like in InDesign or Microsoft Word. Especially if I figure out that I have a typing error in this document, I need to export it again from Microsoft Word. And if I did all the tagging in Acrobat, I would have to do it again. That is just painful. It's not very effective. So what I would like to do now is show an example of a PDF file that is more or less perfectly tagged. Let me close this one and grab this other one. It's a PDF file created by the PDF Association, who are promoting the new PDF UA standard for tagged PDF according to this ISO standard. And again, because it's tagged, I have my blue icon here, so I can click there right away and create a HTML export from this. The default view already looks slightly different because I actually have text that looks like a heading.
Okay.
So this is just using normal HTML rules, so there's no CSS styling applied in this case. It's just what the browser does with headings. You see lists here, for example. You have text next to images, which is the alternate description and so forth. But let me show you the structure view again. And here you can see how ideally a well-tagged PDF would look like. So right at the top you have a heading level 1, so that's the main heading.
Yeah.
It informs the reader right away what the document is about. This is about PDF UA. And you also have like subheadings, heading level 2, that kind of group the content. You have lists.
Okay, so a list is green.
Yeah, so we have a green label for the list, and for each item in the list we have a slightly lighter green. We have blue for the paragraph, and various shades of orange for the headings, and then red for the images here. So you can really see right away without digging around much that there's more structure in it
Yes.
that reflects the type of the content much better. You would have to check whether the sequence of the content is correct. It is correct, we have checked it, but you could easily do that as well. So,
what are the others tools for here
Yeah,
on the navigation page?
as you can see on the screen, there are a number of other viewing options. So I have my basic view, which is kind of without formatting, and the structure tags view. I also have something that we call easy reader view.
Okay.
It's like which I would use if I sit on my sofa or in an armchair. I want to relax a little bit, and then just want to have an easy reading experience. I could adjust the text as needed. And it's like reading an ebook reader. It's just focusing on the text, not much fancy formatting and what else. It makes for a much nicer reading experience than in some other cases. Just in Vision, you would have to look at the PDF file on screen.
Okay.
Now you have to find your way because
Yeah.
it actually starts on the right-hand side and then continues somewhere else, and you have to jump around. It's not the most pleasing reading experience.
Okay.
So even for a person without any disabilities, it could be much more pleasant to read the content in this view. And then we have some options that kind of want to illustrate how people with disabilities take advantage of such an export. We have an inverted view that some people for whom the normal display is too bright because the background is white and the text is black, and it's just so now you have white text on black background, still all the images and everything. Of course, very very simple. And then there are people with low vision who need a much larger text size so that they can still recognize the characters. And just to give an example, we have something here in pretty large text. And you see it might be difficult to read for a normal person, but if your vision is really bad, this can really help you to still recognize the text and read it without any additional help from tools or people. As you can see, then the headings in this case are formatted in a bluish color, and the text is still black. There are some people who like this styling a lot, but there are also others with low vision that kind of just need the opposite again, like an inverted version. And in this case, there are lots of people who enjoy reading more if they have yellow text because of some deficiencies in the eye. It's easier for them to read it this way. But no two people with low vision are alike. Each has slightly different needs. This is just to showcase what is possible. And then, last but not least, we have a view called Dyslexia.
Okay.
Let me just show this and go to some text like this one, enlarge it a little bit. This view is using a special font, which is targeting people with dyslexia. Dyslexia is a difficulty reading text, whether in a book or on screen. So it's not that these people are not intelligent, it's just very specifically related to text. It's difficult for them to read the text. Mm-hmm. So they lose the line they're reading, or they kind of mix up the characters and so on. And this font has been designed to make each character look more special. It makes it more easy to tell one character from the other. It also uses a wider character spacing, word spacing, and line spacing, which makes it easier for these people to find their way through the text. So the effect is they can still read the text without additional help. So they can still. It's very important, especially for children who are still learning to read and have dyslexia, because it makes for a better starting point for them. Over time, they may improve their reading capabilities and may even be able to read normal text. So these are just a couple of views. From my point of view, the most valuable one is the structure text view.
Yeah, that's nice.
To find out how good or not good a tag PDF file is. Mm-hmm. It's a good tool to find out what needs to be fixed. So if you're yourself the person who does the tagging, you can go back to Word or InDesign, or maybe even inside Acrobat, just apply the right style sheet or whatever. And if you're contracting out work like you let other people do work for your tag PDF files, you have a tool to check out how well they did do the job and maybe ask for improvements.
So the only thing that I need would be an Acrobat in order to work with it.
I didn't mention it yet. I think pdfGoHTML is free of charge. So everybody can download it for free. But you will need Adobe Acrobat, either version 9, 10, or 11 on Mac or Windows. So it doesn't work with the Adobe Reader. It does require the Adobe Acrobat Pro program.
Okay. But there is there an option to create HTML from Acrobat, or?
Yeah, there is. But the goal when Adobe implemented this built-in HTML export was rather to replicate the visual appearance, to pick up the styling of the PDF file, and not so much to reflect the reading order. And unfortunately, while the HTML export might look quite nice, it doesn't necessarily reflect the reading order or other properties that might be important for people with disabilities, or if you want to repurpose the text.
Okay, so it would not start at the right-hand page on this one, so it would just start on the left-hand side. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I wanted to show you about Callas pdfGoHTML. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's a quite nice tool if you deal with tag PDF files. It's a free plugin, as I mentioned. You can download it from www.callassoftware.com. If you've got any questions, send an email to support@callassoftware.com. We will do our best to help you out and answer your questions. Other than that, thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Hope you have fun. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.